All right, so I'm going to do the video why I'm actually unpacking the groceries. Makes it easier. Going to say exactly again. So it is a scam. These organisations that are scamming government-funded money. It's been going on for years. And I said this same thing when they want to put someone on their books to revenue raise so they can get more money from the government. Oh, but we've got mentally retarded people. Let's get more money for each person. It's been going on for years. Same thing when they want to milk the depression and suicide and all this other crap. Australia's big on it, which is what's going to be Australia's downfall. And I said this back in 2015 when a couple of narcissistic, one ex-partner who I kicked out of my place around the 19th of December in 2015, not around, it was the 19th of December. And the other one was some just ex-fuck buddy fling that I kept telling them to fuck off, man. Like, I brought my dog from you and you're a fuck buddy fling, you're a free prostitute. So I got accused of being suicidal. I've never been suicidal in my life. And let me actually pin that and go right back to the first time that I found out about the lies. First time I found out about the lies was in March 2013. And it came from George Jacobs, Dr. George Jacobs, who should lose his license. So I'm actually overseas in the US because, well, why? I have been applying for a green card. It's like what was actually stated about me since 2009 didn't come from me and it wasn't true. So apparently there was all these mental health issues towards me returning to work at Star Casino when that wasn't true. I'm like, who told you this? Seriously, like, who told you this? Because it was part salary payment for 10 years, and at the end of 10 years I could negotiate my job back. This was giving me 10 years to maintain and recover from the physical health injuries I received from being mugged November 30th, 2007 after work. So it was damage to my left eye, so I, sought after doctors for that. Damage to my hip and my back and my knee and my right side. Chronic migraines. So who told you that there was mental health issues surrounding Star Casino? Because I never told you that. Like I kept telling the George Jacobs, who's telling you this stuff? Because you were only involved from my solicitor, because my solicitor said, look, we have to go down this path because, basically they don't recognise physical health injuries and so forth. And what Australia has is a massive, huge milk of mental health industries because the government is throwing money at it. It's not saying that it's these people have these issues that people are saying. What it is saying is that there's groups and organisations and workers out there that know they can make money from what the government's throwing money at. So they're going to go down that path of that. George Jacobs is one of those people. So let's bring back to, to get the facts in straight. Sure, I was mugged on my way home from work. I never knew Giovanni Consalvo when I was mugged on my way home from work. I was back with my partner, John. So John Cabino, who lives part-time with his mother in Greenwich and part-time with me in Surrey Hills. Now, on the night in question, like I said to people, who's making up the stories that I had memory loss about it? Because I told you I don't remember after I was hit until I woke up in hospital. That's not memory loss. It's saying I was knocked out for a short period of time. And while I was knocked out, I don't remember what was going on to me during that period of time. But I can tell you I remember being meters from my front door. I remember walking up to being really close to Marlborough Street, corner of Cleveland and Marlborough Street. You're making up stories. You're putting words in my mouth that I never said. And then you wrote down, what was it? This is hilarious. Traumatic brain injury. And I turned around several times in the years that followed and said, what traumatic brain injury? Can we please go off actual facts and documents without you making up stories? Because it was the doctors that were making up stories. And I'm there going, so can we just look at the facts? Because the facts are I was mugged and robbed November 30th, 2007. I wasn't the only person who was mugged that night because even Detective Chopra said there was a string of muggings down Devonshire. They cut across the Cleveland Street, hit you on the way through. It was a smash and grab. You weren't the only person, but you were in a Glasgow Coma Skull 13. I'm like, I can tell you exactly what happened that night. Finished, my car was, the 2 days before, my car was over in Marrickville getting repaired. The Alfa Romeo I had, I'd normally drive that to and from work. The day before I was mugged, I actually took the tram from Star Casino to Central and walked up home, and I was actually chatting with Ronaldo Santos the day before. He was walking up with me as well. But the day in question, I finished work at 4 a.m. By the time you debrief and get out of work, it's a bit later than that. I rang John Cabino. I could just ring out. And even Detective Chopra looked at those records, said there was 2 calls made to your partner. So was he meant to pick you up? I said, yeah, he was meant to pick me up. My car's in the workshop getting fixed. So then I just took the tram from Star Casino to Central Station. I was busting to go to the toilet. I went into the toilet. I've got bad bowel problems. And exited out on Elizabeth Street, walked up Elizabeth Street, turned left onto Cleveland Street, walked down Cleveland Street. I met us from my front door. I remember very clearly seeing a Marlborough Street ahead of me, and they got hit to the back of the head. And so I'm telling you the truth. And then I woke up in hospital. John's there, his sister's here, his brother Mike was there. Sorry, John's there, his mother's there, and his twin brother Mike was there. It's ridiculous. Like I've been saying for years. And I've turned to my twin sister in the last 9 years and said, I'm getting lied about, but here's the thing. My twin sister is so brainwashed and manipulated by Carol, instead of stopping, I've told Amanda many times, can you get away from our mother? Because you're not thinking clearly. You're not thinking clearly because you've got our mother and Marianne, our auntie, in your ear. Can you get away from them? Can you pack your shit up and move and get away from them because your brain's fried? You're not thinking clearly because Carol keeps brainwashing you. So she's trying to get, and since I got mugged, my mother was like, oh, he has to have this now, he's got to move and I'm like, no, I don't. It was a simple mugging. It was a simple mugging that I'm on part salary payment for. The casino said, look, until we give you the okay to come back to work, and we're going to give you probably 10 years. Look, it might not be what you want because you want to come back to work straight away, but you've had some injuries. So we'll give you 10 years at part salary payment so you can, recover. I was like, I'll go back to my studies. Because I studied design in the 90s and I studied art in the 90s. I was like, okay, I'll go back to my studies while I'm doing that. And that's all it was. So it wasn't meant to be made in this massive big issue that it was. And the most issue that was made in the last 9 years since 2015. Whoa, good catch. Kid you not. And it's like, seriously, you're making these issues now after I've just spent years recovering and maintaining injuries, where I'm ready to negotiate my job back in 2017. You're making up stories. And I love the story of depressed and suicidal. And I'm like, wow, that I first found out that was going on back, this is where I'm going around in circles, back in 2013. And as I said, when I was mugged and robbed after work, I'm like, okay, there's an outcome. So I began my job back in 2017. No worries. They told me you can't work as a VIP host anywhere else, which means you can't go from Sydney to Melbourne and work for Crown. I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm not moving. I'm going to, go back to studies. I'm going to apply for a green card. I said I was going to do that back in 2001, so I might as well do it when I'm off work recovery. So I did. I went back to my studies, studying in 2009 and 2010, applied for a green card. Everything I said I've done. Next minute, I'm doing things. So I submit my application in 2012, and I'm like, all right, in 2012, like I've said to people, our neighbours, where I lived above us in Cleveland Street, they had a house fire. Not us. We never had a house fire. I keep telling Giovanni, my ex, it's like, fuck me, dead, you over-exaggerate. Like, he runs the people. He's like, oh. Like, I love Giovanni when he's making up bullshit of trauma. There's never been any trauma, but you ask Giovanni, and he's a good fucking little performer. Oh, Justin never recovered from the house fire. And I literally have social workers, some people coming back to me going, oh, treat me like I'm some child. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? Literally, because they've listened to this dickhead ex-partner of mine for years, and I'm there going, what the fuck you talking about? What fucking house fire? I'm like, in 2012, oh, you don't remember because you had a brain injury. I'm like, no, I fucking remember, mate. Our neighbours had a house fire and it affected neighbouring properties, and we responded to neighbouring properties. What's the big deal? What was the big deal? Can you explain? Apparently I've got trauma. Do I? Since when? Oh, you've listened to my ex-partner Giovanni who's scamming you. Oh, well done. Oh, and why this has gone on so well is because my mother's jumped onto it as well. And I'm sitting back not knowing what the fuck's been said behind my back for years. And here I am studying, working for Steve Hatch Dimitri, apply for a green card to America, submit the application. Like I said, in 2012, I submitted my application. I'm like, oh, I better get back to the US. I haven't been there since 2001. And I was like, shit, we're moving. We're staying at Nan's place, my grandmother Ruby Fleming's place at Long Beach. She's passed on in 2007, but we kept the house as a holiday house. So like I said, I was staying up there, while I was looking for a new apartment. I said, look, I'm going to be settled, get a new apartment, want to get a dog. There's things I want to do to close off in Sydney before I move to America, even if I get this green card. It's not the best time for me to be traveling to the US in 2012. I'll give myself some time and I'll go in back in March. I'll go in March in 2013 and look around and look at prices of places and where I want to live and so forth, because I really haven't traveled around the States since 2001. So Giovanni knew in advance, well in advance, that I will be out of the country for the month of March 2013. So then I'm off in America. He goes to George Jacobs, which makes George Jacobs Well, hey, seriously, what is with Australia letting Jews get away with fraud? Someone tell me? Because George Jacobs committed fraud. Whether he likes or not, he didn't believe me, but he believed Giovanni. Runs in there, he's bawling, he's in hysterics. Why he didn't get locked up, I don't know. Oh, I need the month off work. I can't cope. You've got no idea what I've got to do for Justin. He can't leave the house. This is what was going on. But I wasn't in the country. I wasn't in the country, which makes this fraud. I wasn't here. I had no idea what was said behind my back. This is the first time I found out about it. And I come back from being overseas. I was in New York and then Mexico City, because I was in New York looking around where, like, I was like, okay, let's look at the prices. Where do I really want to live? I know that I'm not someone that likes living outside the city. Can I make it, can I afford to live there? Do I want to go back to the casino industry? Do I want to work more in what I've studied? You know, and I was just basically using the whole time I was in America back in 2013 to, you know, look around and go, okay, how am I going to do this? And I was like, right, when I get the green card, I know I've got 10 years before it has to be renewed. So therefore, I've got 10 years in Sydney to close off everything I want to do. That means return back to work at Star Casino. That means do the exhibition I wanted to do, the exhibition even on my great uncle's photography work. That means my own exhibition, whether it flops, I don't care. If it's a fail, who cares? I did it, which means it's there. I put on this, did this, went back to VIP hosting. Well, was actually working towards being an executive host. I was doing HD shifts in 2016, 2007 for that. And then it also means returning to my studies, because I wanted to bridge that bit of a gap. Because the last time I'd studied was in 2010, 2009, 2010. So in Moore Design Centre. And so basically that's what happened. So we get back, speaking to George Jacobs, and he's like, well, he raised red flags. I was like, what? He's like, oh, I had Giovanni in here, Gio, who was in hysterics. I raised red flags to the crisis group, was extremely worried about you and your behaviour. Like, that's just gone on the last month. I'm like, my behaviour? I wasn't in the country. This guy did not believe that I wasn't in the country. I'm like, check immigration. I haven't been in Australia. So whatever bullshit Giovanni fed you is a complete lie. And I'm looking back going, how long has this been going on for? Since 2009, apparently Giovanni's a carer? Are you insane? Are you fucking insane? Oh, and apparently I've been depressed and suicidal. Are you fucking insane? I'm coming in here all the time saying, look, I'm busy. I don't have time for this. I'm busy. I've gone back to my studies. I'm doing work for Steve Hatcher and Dimitri and Chili Pip. I'm busy. You know, this is just biding the time, waiting for the return to work program. So basically that's in place. Like, I'm really fucking busy. I don't have time for your shit. And then, so there's one lie. So I was like, okay, this fuckwit's not going to listen, because he never does. No one ever does. It's like, why listen to the person themselves? Let's gather false information from unreliable sources. And that's exactly what happened. The same shit when people started making up stories that I was high and using drugs. I heard that story back in 2015. Don't know why it even started. So I'm being a smartass playing pranks on idiots from 2016 to 2018. I thought it was hilarious. Like, literally was playing the biggest prank. IGA was hilarious. Like, I did, okay, in my defense, physical health injuries, and I said to an organization, look, I've got a green card since 2014. The service dog requirements in the US is exactly this, ABC. Train your dog up for a service dog in America, gets signed off by the vet in the US, which my dog is. And asthma is one requirement. I've had fucking asthma for years. I've got really bad respiratory problems. The other requirement is mobility. And I'm like, well, here's my S1L5. And I had more than enough to qualify for physical health injury. So I've often brought this up in Australia several times and said, Australia discriminates against disability. And oh, what bullshit. I'm like, no. Australia only focuses on mental health issues and mental disability because that's where the money is in Australia. So it discriminates on chronic illness, and physical health injuries. So I've known myself since I was mugged after work, November 30th, 2007, I've been discriminated against because it's physical health injuries, where my own solicitor, James Kaspidas, turned around and said, this is the way it is. They want to make it always about mental health issues in Australia. It's like, but that's discriminating against people with physical health injuries. And I've seen this since 2007. So it's not like it's getting any better, it's getting worse. So it does discriminate Australia is a country that discriminates against physical health injuries and chronic illness. But if you've got mental health, it's fine. All these organisations that grab hold of the milk from the government. And that's what it is. So anyway, I'm thinking, okay, this is insane. I've never been a drug user and I don't even drink alcohol. Which is why I put on the best prank in 2017. It was fucking hilarious. Grabbed a red wine glass, filled it up with Ribena, was out being a smart ass to this deadbeat from Tamworth, which was Michael Long, who's some reformed alcoholic, and I'm there pretending to sit down at this sort of bar that I've got on to get cards, and I'm putting it, because I've got the training from Screenwise, so I'm there crying, I'm putting, what was it? I was trying to work out if my mother was still surveillancing and part of this bullshit. So what was it? It was something that was to do with her sister. Like a song that her deadbeat sister would like. Some bullshit. Like, you know, some really crap music, like you got to know when to hold and when to fold. Some real wanky shit. And I'm putting on the best acting scene I can to go, you're fucked. You are fucked now. Because I'm acting, I'm recording this, and I'm going to make sure as hell I fuck over everybody. I will fuck over every social work support worker, disability organisation that exists. You are fucked. Once, and I was really hoping to be able to do this, and that's where I was headed for. And then my mother told me in 2018, oh, just let it go. Why are you even wasting your time with these people? You've got the green card to America. Go and live your life. It's like, oh, fuck it. You're right. It's going to be too much energy to do this, you know. So I did, you know, I put a pin in it, went to the States, but it continued in America. It continued. And I was like, okay, you're the one that kept it going, not me. You kept it going, so I'm coming back to Australia to fuck you over. Because you kept it going. You, not me. So I'm like, fuck this. No, I've already let go and moved on. That was in 2018. I came back to Australia to fuck you over. I will make sure as hell that there is no government-funded money for any disability ever again. I will fuck over every social working group and organisation. When I'm done, the nursing industry wages will have their wages fucking cut. That's what I want. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but hey, when the right-wing conservatives come in and look at how much government money that the left waste, use me as your spokesperson. Because I will come in and say, yeah, I'll tell you how much money's been wasted. Look at the last 9 years. It's bullshit. It's a fucking scam. Not from me. I'm the one that got mugged after work, but let me tell you, Giovanni wasn't a carer. This support working bullshit, apparently I can't go out by myself. I need an emotional support companion. Seriously, how wanky is this shit? I mean, I found it hilarious. Like, I was being a smart ass in Coles to Giovanni. Walking around, Gio! Like, I'm just playing a prank at some dickheads back. I'm going to put the eggs away. Back when all this shit was going on. And I'm like, no, you guys are fucked. You're absolute deadbeat losers. You think that I'm going to be some pushover of a person that's going to stand back and have you lie about me and think that I'm some, sensitive character of a person that would ever be depressed or suicidal? Fuck me. Do I look like someone that would ever be fucking suicidal? I made this clear to even fucking police back in 2015. I'm like, listen, if you know any personal information about me, you can twist that to be sinister. For an example, back years ago, I used to, because I have this thing with the ocean, where I have to hear the ocean crashing. Love it. It reminds me when we were kids and we were always at the Central Coast. Or even like Pop was a mad rock fisherman. And just reminds me of being out on the boat with him and so forth. And it's just, for me, it's, you know what, I just want 5 minutes, half an hour to myself. I don't have a fear of heights. Never had. A bit of a daredevil even when I was younger type thing. And back years ago, as I've said to people, oh my God, back in my early 20s, we used to go to Cafe Roma on dates and then go and hang out at Watson's Bay there at the Gap. There's no fence there back then. And there's all these, if you ever knew it back then, but you can't get to it now. It's because dumb, useless people apparently fell in, fucking idiots. There's these fantastic sandstone sort of structures right near the water edge, and it's what the Kennedys used to sit on. And I went up there in my early 20s even with Alfio Bonanno. I remember Alfio back when he was still living in Parramatta in his auntie's house. The front bedrooms were his little recording studios. He's an Italian singer. God, even Joey Mena, when I was dating Joey Mena, would remember Alfio Bonanno. But yeah. So we used to go to Cafe Rome and I used to hang out there with him. It was like sort of a romantic night. You've seen the waves crash up. Now you can't see it. You can't do that because you can't sit there because some dickheads have put this fence up. Because there's apparently dumb people that fall in. I'm like, oh, well, they're fucking idiots. We're not all fucking stupid. You know, like, seriously, so we all gotta, I forgot how nana Australia was. Oh my God, we all need to be controlled and told what to do. It's such a nana country. So now they're gonna put fences there because, oh, if you go too close, you might fall in. It's like, yeah, exactly. Like, are we all that fucking dumb? Do we all need to live in a nana country? It's fucking nana. It's ridiculous. So I got in trouble for jumping the fence. And then someone goes, oh, it's because he was suicidal. I'm like, I'm not fucking suicidal. Do I look like a character person I'd ever be fucking suicidal, you moron? And why would I be suicidal? I've got everything I've ever worked hard for. I've got a green card to America. I've studied design. I've got a shitload of money in the bank, over 100,000. I've got expensive furniture, assets, jewelry, and designer clothes. Drive a BMW. Got rent subsidized apartment. There's no issues in my life, but you're making up stories because you want to chuck me on your books and revenue raise. You know why? Because the government throws money at it. And it's bullshit. Then you've got my mother doing the same thing. I'm sitting back going, this is fucked up. And then some other losers started making up stories about, because they thought I was related to how that stuck. Actually, let me pin that for a second. I'll tell you exactly how these stuck. My name's Justin Fleming. My mum had two husbands. One of them was Mark Fleming, my father. The second husband was Mark Rackley, my stepfather. Mark Rackley, my stepfather, had depression and suicidal issues. So has his son, Daniel Rackley. So has his the daughter that he had with my mother, my half-sister, Faith Marie Rackley. But they all have depression, suicide, drug use, alcoholism. I mean, Mark Rackley used to use speed and, well, he probably used ice. I never heard of that shit until after 2015. I know his daughter does, his son does. They're alcoholics and cannabis smokers. So how that got stuck with me is because useless police, because they are useless in Australia. Welcome to Australia. They're dumb as dog shit, bogan ockers. Yeah, in 2008, these dickheads, and it was some idiot police officer who must know my mother and her second husband, decided to take it upon themselves to actually put in the computer system that my name was Justin Rackley. I kid you not. Now, my mother separated with her second husband, Mark Rackley, in 1994. They were divorced in 1995. Okay, so we're talking about in the 90s, and I hardly know my stepfather. Nothing to do with him. My dad's a builder, Mark Fleming. Now, Mark Fleming's from Parramatta, lives on the Central Coast, now at Empire Bay, very close to the Fleming side. And a police officer thought they knew me, and they put it upon themselves to go into a government computer system in 2008 and put down Justin Rackley, even though there is no formal legal documents of Justin Rackley anywhere. So it must be somebody from the area that my mother moved to when she moved from Sydney with her second husband. It must be from the New England area. Couldn't possibly be from Sydney because it's like, well, that's insane considering like my dad's still in Sydney. Like my mum moved with her second husband. It has to be the area where my mother moved to with her second husband. She moved from Sydney when she got married. So it has to be the New England area of New South Wales. So it has to be some deadbeat copper from the New England area of New South Wales that worked for Redfern and then looked at this and went, oh, hang on, I know his name's not Fleming, it's Rackley, I'm going to change it. Well, no, my name's not Rackley, it's Fleming. By doing that in 2008, it tagged me in with all the Rackley's issues. So drugs, alcohol, suicide, and depression. That's been now since 2008. So that has actually fucked up my workers' comp for me because the insurance company got that information, which is why I say the workers' comp needs to be reopened. Well, it wasn't a just case. You've got wrong information. I'm not Justin Rackley, I'm Justin Fleming. Mark Rackley's my stepfather, sure, but I'm not related to the Rackleys. Mark Fleming's my father. You've got information related to the Rackleys and you've used that against me during workers' comp, which is what Star Casino did. And that's what fucked things up for me. And it's there in the facts. You can't deny it. So the workers' comp has to be reopened. It also has to reopen every single matter where police have harassed me since 2008 because, you see, Mark Rackley and Daniel Rackley are two very aggressive people. The Flemings aren't aggressive. Look, I'm the most aggressive one because I've got my grandfather, Reginald Purdy. His, I guess he's DNA in me. But the Flemings aren't. My dad's a big pushover. My daddy's a big softie. I've never seen him raise his voice. So Mark Fleming, my actual father, Mark Ian Fleming, he's so soft and gentle. Like, he's just the most, I would watch myself being around him because he, don't want him to feel intimidated. He is just a big softie. He's a gentle little guy. Like, he's just the most nicest, sweetest man that you're ever going to meet, who's had some injuries when, he worked 7 days a week as a builder. Everything started breaking down in his late 40s, and he had to have everything reconstructed. So his body's been reconstructed now from one operation after the other. He's just a retired builder. And anyone that's been building so long like he has, you're going to have injuries. So, he used to be very thin-toned and so forth. Now he's had that many operations on his body. He's got scars from here to here to here. Like, he's just covered. It's like a patchwork freaking teddy bear type thing, like all stitched together from all these injuries from working so much. He's a hard worker. God, I've never seen a builder continuously work 7 days a week, but he did. Probably avoiding the women that he was with. The women that he had children with. I would. You ever see the women he had children with? It was like, oh, God, Dad, what were you thinking? Like, you had all these great girlfriends and you chose the wrong women to actually have children with. So, Mark Fleming isn't. Like, the Flemings are very gentle people. Soft, gentle, quiet people. Which is why any friends of mine in Sydney, it's like, look, you don't really know me until you meet my dad's side. And my dad's side is a bit reserved. So they don't show up. I'm very close to them, but they're not going to show up in my place of business and go, they're not going to be loud people like my mother and just turn up when they're uninvited. My dad's going to be like, oh, look, like Dad did. Dad was in Sydney with Uncle George, his mother's brother. And he's like, oh, look, I don't want to be, putting you out, son, but Uncle George was meant to go in for an eye surgery. We're down in Sydney, I don't want to drive back to the Central Coast. Would you mind if I stay? Like, that's what he's like. I'm like, Dad, I'm your son. Come over to Surrey Hills. Like, that's exactly what my dad's like. So he's not, where if it was my mother, she would just turn up. She goes, oh, I'm here, I'm staying. Like, that's it. So there's two different people. So my dad's side's very reserved. So I've often said to people a lot that you're not going to, like, I am very close to my dad's side. They're just reserved people. No one's going to really know them unless you're really close to me and I don't introduce everybody to them. I'm not going to introduce friends to them because you're just a friend. You're not a partner or like that's long term. I'm not going to introduce some fuck buddy fling. And as for my mother's side, my mother's side turn up. So it seems that everybody knows my mother's side, but I'm not close to them. And that's the difference. My mother would just turn up with her daughter she had with her second husband and show up and it's like, oh, I'm his mother and oh, that's his sister and all this. I'm like, yeah, but we're not close. Like, she's just turned up at my fucking work again. Jesus Christ. That's what it was like. So then people start going, oh, yeah, I know his mum. It's like, yes, but we're not close. She does this. We're not close. Meanwhile, Dad, like when I was back with John, Dad's like, so John's sisters live around the corner from Dad. We used to go and visit John's sisters and then go to Dad's house. And it was John's birthday and we're over Dad's and Dad's like, Justin, it's John's birthday. What are you doing for his birthday? I'm like, oh, he's already had a present and a card. He goes, you didn't get him a cake? He says, Dad, go up the road and give him a cake and put a little birthday on for him here at Empire Bay. My dad put a birthday party on for my boyfriend, John Cabino John. And that's, that years ago. So, this has gone on for sort of years. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. And that's what happened. So Dad's good. Mum shows up. Look, the only fight I've ever had with my dad in my entire life was because of, it was just a family thing. It had nothing to do with anything except for, it should never have gone as far as it did because it was between me and Dad in 2012. I was staying at the holiday house. Dad said, you're a traitor because he doesn't like his sisters. And Dad got brought out of the holiday house, basically. And I've had the keys to the holiday house too, and we're still using the holiday house, which was my dad's mother's house, my dad's parents' house, actually, on the coast. And like I said, let's go back to that whole thing. That's where I would go up to the holiday house, be laying there in the bedroom, and you could hear the waves just crashing on the shore. Because it was so close. Like where I am now, I'm so far from the ocean compared to where I was in my nan's house. I could just lay there in the front room, like, I just need time to myself for a minute. And I'm just laying there, just listening to the ocean, basically. Because it's like right there to the ocean, You know, like I walk to the end of this street, and if that's further away, like where I currently am, the end of this street is further away to the ocean than what Nan's house was. But it's sold now. My auntie sold it in 2015. I used to use it all the time. Every time I wanted to get away from the city, which I never really did, but if I always wanted this to go, okay, I want to go somewhere no one knows me, go up, be staying at Nan's house, or get up and walk down to the beach, go get a coffee, go back to Nan's house, go to some, I've got my tools in the shed, go work on some artwork, restore some furniture, have a couple of days to myself, away from my partner, and then go back to the apartment in the city. I used to do that all the time. Anyway, so without making this a long video, because it's getting there now, half an hour. So this all started again with the wrong information that went around in 2015. I got monitored and surveillance by organisations, dumb fucking wankers of organisations. That, yeah, I've got to love this. I've got the document that says, we are going to rally my fucking ass. You are, you dumb cunt. You're going to break privacy and confidentiality laws, are you? You fucking dumb cunt. We're going to rally around friends and family. And I'm there, no, you're not. You're not going to do fucking anything, because here I am telling you, like I even had some people say, oh, he was the best. He wants to have kids and he wants to have a relationship and he wants this. And I'm like, and so I'm having some fucking deadbeat fucking morons come and say some shit to me. I'm like, where are you getting information from? I want kids, do I? I want fucking kids. Like a fucking hole in their head. I want fucking kids. Seriously, I dump fucking friends for having kids. And you think I want fucking kids? Who the fuck made that story up? Oh wait, must be deadbeat friggin' drunk Christy, which is who we call my mum's sister's daughter. We call her drunk Christy because a nice Christy that is the Fleming side of the family is Christy Saruni. So my dad's side, my dad's niece, his youngest sister's daughter is Christy Saruni, and my mother's niece, my mother's sister's daughter is Christy Childs. So we just, instead of saying Christy Childs and Christy Saruni, we say drunk Christy, the deadbeat on my mother's side of the family. So this whole shit happened, and I'm there going, and then organisations were like, oh no, they wanted me to agree with them. I'm like, so you want me to agree to a lie? How much money are you getting paid? Well, that's what it was like. I'm like, so you want me to agree to a bullshit lie? And how much money do you get paid? Because whatever this cost me, believe me, you're paying. And at the most, I thought this was only going to cost me 2016. Literally, I thought it was going to cost me 2016. And that was it. So I was like, oh, this is sweet. You know, let's see what this cost me this year and fuck these pricks over. Then it kept going. It's going to 2017, because in 2016 it got worse when the two little fucking wankers of ex-partners were being a smart ass when I was off for a booty call. I'm getting dressed up to go and meet someone for sex. And this little fucking dumb cunt, dirty... I mean, look, you can just... If you ever say the word abo... instantly just visually put dumb cunt, dirty fucking low-life scumbag junkie before the word abo, and you're pretty much right. So this fuckwit that I brought my dog from, and he was a brief sexual encounter. Yeah, he was a free prostitute. Let's say that. In the gay world, it's called a fuck buddy fling. So no strings attached. It's someone you go and visit for sex, and that's it. Not meant to have family involvement, but hey, lo and behold, there's social media and everyone thinks they can get involved in someone's life these days. And I'm someone that's like, yeah, no, you can't. You don't have any right to know anything about me, so you can fuck off. So this guy wanted me to catch up with him. I'm like, man, I told you to fucking piss off back in October 2015. And this is around February or something. And then they started causing trouble. So I'm like, I'm off for a booty call, you can get fucked. And then he rings the police and says, oh, Justin just said he's going to do a hot shot and die. And the police turn up at my place. I'm like, are you insane? And apparently he told this to Giovanni, and Giovanni's the one that shows up. And I'm like, you're a fucking cunt. So he calls me in the kitchen. He's like, this is what Giovanni said. This is 2016. He calls me in, plays at my front door. He calls me in and he goes, this is your fault because you had an affair. This is what my ex-partner Giovanni Consalvo said. So, Gio, I'm like, all right, so you're still going to blame me the fact that I had an affair with this Brett guy? Okay, fair enough. He goes, well, I've made a false statement to police now and I'm going to get arrested. That's what he goes to me. So he goes, so what you need to do, you need to make a good story and say, well, we were arguing and then you said that you might as well have jumped. Say that. Oh, fuck me dead. Yeah, I did. And it landed me in a fucking shitload of trouble. And I'm like, you fucking cunt. Because both you little pricks are causing deliberate trouble in my life because I want to be single and I'm off screwing around. Both my fucking ex and the little cunt that I had the affair with. That's what happened. But every single step of the way, I'm ringing my mother. My mother used to work in a law firm, and her deadbeat fucking sister. And I'm saying, I'm getting lied about. I can't get believed, so I need a solicitor to help me. You want to fucking help? Nope. Not a fucking cunt face Mary Mahowski. No. You fucking bitch. So this went on for years. And I'm like, great. I've turned around to organisations and said the information is not true. You've turned to me and says, we accept information wherever we gather it from. I'm like, but I'm the person. And I'm telling you it's not true. What do? I didn't get a solicitor. I haven't had the information corrected. I'm having damage for 9 years in every single aspect of my entire life. In 2016, I told Giovanni, go back and tell the fucking truth. You want to lie about me? Go back and tell the fucking truth. You want to go and grab that Matt O'Rourke by the friggin' scruff of the neck? Because I do. You go and tell that little cunt the truth that you lied. Because you did. You go back and tell the truth before this damages my entire life. And he's been a smartass going, oh, it's not me. It's your mother and your family. And he's laughing at I'm like, you're bitching to Marianne all the time. I said, during that period of time, did you tell Marianne I've actually got a green card to America and that we barely saw each other when we were together and I went back to my studies? Did you tell her? No. Instead of bitching about me to my auntie, why didn't you actually tell her the fucking truth? Like the same thing with my mother. I've got my mother trying to do her little scam since 2015 when she saw how much money I had in the bank. And she's there going, oh, you can buy a house here for Faith Rackley to live in. I'm like, no, I won't. I've got a green card. I'm working towards things in Sydney before I move to America. That money's for me to relocate and buy a property in America. You know this. Like you were told. And then apparently, we had no idea. You had no idea that I've got a green card, that I went through the process. It took me 2 years. And I turned to Giovanni, I'm like, apparently they don't know that I had a green card. And Giovanni's like, your family don't listen, Justin. I've told you this before. Unless it's something that they're interested in, they're not going to listen to you. I'm like, so what? I'm working towards to try and relocate before 2024, before the green card's up for renewal, and I want to put myself in a really good situation in America. That means in 2017, my job, I've got to negotiate my job back because that's when I was told, part salary payment for 10 years, then you can do this. But we just want to see your recovery for 10 years. Okay? That means going back to, my studies with a more design centre. Just even if I do a short course. That means picking things up, doing the art exhibition, even if it's a flop, I don't care because that puts me in a good situation in New York and go, well, I have done this. That means trying to get Uncle Fred's photos, so Leo Patrick Sayer, my great uncle, his photos together and do a photography book. Whether it's a flop or not, this is still stuff that I've done. Why I'm still recovering from being like, the hip, the eye, the migraines and so forth. And it's pretty much, there's nothing left of recovery. I've recovered heaps and then there's just maintaining it. Now, you caused the damage since I was lied about in 2015. I'm not paying for the damage. I'm putting up with this. Okay, I will admit, I was a smart ass to these organisations that harass me. Sure, some fucking wanker organisation keep coming around my place. Some acute care, some social workers. And even in the documents I have from these wankers, because I went for the Freedom of Information Act and requested everything from 2015 to 2018. It says, oh, Justin was unaware of our involvement. I'm like, you're damn right I was unaware of your involvement. You were told to fuck off, mate. Like, seriously, here I am. Hi, fuck off. You were told you're not needed. You're told to fuck off. I don't care what you're being told. I'm the person. I'm telling you to fuck off. So, fuck off. You've been told. Now, fuck off. And this was going on since 2016. It's like, here we are again. What, you think I can't drive to an appointment? Because Giovanni's telling people, oh, he had to do so much. He had to drive me around. I was like, no, he didn't. What was said by James Caspidis was, after I was lied about with, was it Dr. Melick, whatever, he said, don't ever go into these appointments by yourself. He said, bring a witness with you. Bring your partner. Take Gio with you. I'm like, all right, Gio, so every time we've got to go for a medical legal appointment, can you come in as a witness? Okay, that got twisted to he can't go to appointments by himself. Are you fucking insane? Are you fucking insane? Like, I can't. Like, this is where the truth's here. The twisting is this fucking much. Here's the truth. And they're fucking twisting this massive, huge story. It's the same with, oh, Justin doesn't do can't do his grocery shopping. I'm like, bull fucking shit. But because I take longer than you, because I like to save money, Joe, I look at every single item, so he gets a shit. It's like even when it comes to like, okay, that's on sale, but you know, that's per 100, whatever, blah blah, and that's this so much. I'm like, because I'm a penny pincher. I don't care how much money I've got. I'll, you know, die, crash. You know, I'll be, you know, dying holding on to my money because that's the type of person I've always been. My dad's the same. My grandfather was the same. I'll be dying holding on to that bag of money in my grave. I don't care. I've always been a penny pincher. So yeah, because I look at where I can save money, and you get the shits, and you just want to grab items and go. So then you make up these stories. It's like, no, I'll go for every item. I want to see what's the best value, and make sure I'm getting value for money. And then the other shit that I can't clean is like, oh, what? Because I popped my disc out in my back. I popped my fucking disc out in my back, and when we were moving, I was like, that's it. I said, I'm not putting my disc back in because I don't like to. Here we go. Well, I don't like to waste money. I said, if I go and pay for the chiropractor now and put my disc back in my back, I said, then it's going to pop out again while I'm packing boxes and moving. So it defeats the purpose. So I might as well deal with the pain, hobble around until I've finished moving. Then I'll go to the chiropractor when everything's settled. I said, but I'm not going to do it now because I'll just pop it out again. So that's how much I do. Yeah, that's how much I'm like my dad, Mark Fleming, when it comes to money. You know, like all the whole, like my dad would do this. Oh, because you know I'm poor. Like literally pull your pockets out, Mark Fleming. Yeah, you're broke. You know, it's a Fleming thing to cry poor when we're not. Yeah, it's a Fleming trademark. You know, turn the lights off, leave the money on the fridge. It's a massive Fleming trademark. Jay, I can tell you, we're sitting there watching TV in the family room at Dad's, and Dad's going to bed. Next minute, all the lights and everything out. It's like, okay, suppose we'll be going to bed too, unless you want to put money on the fridge for the power. Penny pinchers, absolute penny. They will die with their money. Absolutely, they'll be dying, grasping to their friggin' pot of gold. That's what they're like. That's what all the Flemings are like. That's what, you know, even my mum used to say, like living with your dad, what it was like. But that's it. That's who I am as a person. So I like to save money and make sure I've got plenty of it in the bank. So yeah, never been any different. You know, and it just comes, it's inherited. You know, my pop, Stanley Fleming, the same. You know, my dad, Mark Ian Fleming, the same. Me, the same. You know, otherwise, and seriously, I've got to agree with Dad there because, Jesus Christ, if Mum ever knew how much money you had, and even my mum's parents used to say, never tell your mum how much money you've got. Don't tell my daughters, because they don't spend it. They spend. Like Carol and Carol's sisters, they spend. My dad knew that as well. So Carol, Marianne, Robin, they spend, and they want to spend others as well. It's like, oh, hang on. Oh, Justin's got a cold. He might be dying soon. Let's spend his money. That's what they're fucking like, those three bitches, those pretty women. So in Dad's defense, yeah, you know, like my dad used to say, I never told her what I had because then she'll spend it. And like he was buying a car once and I did the same. It's always like, oh, you know, I don't have the money, like, you know, I'm going to have to borrow it type thing. Oh, he did. Had the money and he goes, oh, you know, so he borrowed it loan and then Mum finds his bank statements down behind the wardrobe. And he had like one bank account which had like, say, 4 times more the amount of money than what was needed by this card when they were together. And Mum confronted him and Dad goes to Mum, because I don't want you to know how much money I've got. And that's what it was. Like, even when they were getting divorced, it was like trying to pull, you know, get blood out of a stone to find out how much money Dad had, apparently. So there was all these sort of negotiations where Dad wouldn't have to give up, for example, how much money that he had. So it was like, okay, I'm going to give Carol the house and the contents, like everything, which is what he did. But she can't know how much this is. And it was all agreed on. Like, there was like, even growing up, Mum was always saying this, your dad with money. So yeah, well, where do you think I get it from? Like, seriously, I'm not going to ever tell people how much money I've got. Yeah, worked for it. Worked hard for it. So yeah. Otherwise, I mean, that's the thing. I freaking met Giovanni Consalvo and he's exactly like my mother. Seriously. If he ever, like, that's what he used to always do. Be like, no. He wants to go out. I'm like, no, we don't have the money. I'm exactly like Dad. My dad used to do that to Debbie too. Debbie used to whinge to me. I'm like, oh, here we go. Another one of fucking women that Dad had children with. That's whinging. And then we're like, oh, they went to the Hunter Valley. Oh, and your dad's like, now don't go overboard, Debbie, because you know I'm broke. Next minute, they're staying for 3 days. He's buying cases of wine and so forth. I'm like, and why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? He's a nice man. You look good. You know, you don't have anything, you're not doing without anything. He just doesn't want you to be frivolous. That's all. So why complain? You know, like type thing. And I get it. You know, which is why he's a bachelor, and he's better off being a bachelor. And yeah, I think it's a Fleming man trait. They're all the same. Dad's brothers, dad's father, me. But anyway, getting back to that. So the bullshit that went on when this all started, 2015. 2015. And I want to leave this to put it up as a post just under 60 minutes. So I'll keep this under 60 minutes. So I moved out of my apartment that's rent subsidised, and I couldn't walk on eggshells anymore after I found out the bullshit lies that Giovanni told people. Like, it already put a wedge between me and my uncle and my dad's side, and how I felt about my cousins and what they thought was going on that wasn't true. And I'm like, no. You've already wedged between me and my friends and family. And, you know, you were told in April 2015, you said, look, I'm not leaving. Like, Easter was always spent home in Sydney. I'm going to church here where I go to church. Every holiday, like even after Mum moved from Sydney, every holiday was spent back home in Sydney. All except for October, and October was a sporting holiday. That's why it was spent away. But every holiday was still back home in Sydney. And this bullshit of travelling to where my mother lives only started after 2005. And I'm not going to entertain the crap. Then my auntie's got in his ear and all this other fucking shit went on. And next minute, we're off having to spend Easter with my fucking sister on my mother's side. I'm like, that's it. So we're driving there. I'm like, when we get back to Sydney, you don't. That's what it was. He's like, what? I said, we're over. When we get back home to Sydney, we're over. There's no, I'm not excusing this anymore. Like, and you got to remember, I've just found out about the bullshit lies that he was telling people he was a carer. You know, all the other fucking crap. Oh, wait a minute. I had a psychotic breakdown. Hey, these fucking losers really want to rake in the fucking government money. No, I didn't. You dickheads. And if you like the acting scene from 2016 to 2018, you're going to pay for those front row seats because that was all put on. It was a fake. You fucking dickheads. Like, these people are losers. And that's where the government's wasted money. Like, send them back on the little friggin' plane. I like to say send them back on the boats they came in on, like that Latino Eva Levy from IBAC. Oh, biggest prank I ever played on her. Oh, I think you need, what was it? Oh, yes, I need I was trying to be a smartass, that fucking dumb cunt. Oh, her and Danielle Curran. I don't know, some bong name. It was fucking hilarious. Eva Levy. Oh man, that was right. I was playing. I thought, nah, Giovanni lied about me in 2015. So I'm playing the biggest prank on him and his deadbeat British fucking friend. This fucking loser. Can't stand her. Oh, Mormons. Or born again Christians. Or Jehovah's, whatever the fucking freak losers that these people are. She calls herself Alice. But it's Gaynor Dan. So I'm there pretending to have a breakdown and Eva. Like, it was all put on. The entire lot was fake. Everything was fake. I was like, I'm going to teach all of you a good hard lesson about lying. You want to lie about me? I will fuck everybody over because I don't care about people. I don't give a shit about friends or family. I care about my money and assets. So I'm going to show you exactly what happens when you lie about me. Because here we are living in a country like Australia that has no decent legal system for someone's reputation. So we don't have a good defamation, slander legal system like the US has. The laws are there. You've got criminal defamation in Australia. And I'll fuck you over. I did it to my hairdresser. I thought as soon as I found out she got involved, I'm like, but she's just my hairdresser. She doesn't even know anything about me. She's not meant to know anything about me. That Belinda Jeffrey, it's just like, I met her in late 2013. She's a fucking weirdo. Like, if I met her in the general public, I would walk straight past her, nothing to do with her. She's a skank from Penrith. Like, we're not like-minded people. So I was like, all right, let me pretend to have a breakdown. And start crying. I get my head. Like, it was all fake. The whole lot was fucking fake. I thought, no, I'm going to teach you a good lesson. You think that I'm a pushover person that's going to let organisations get involved in my life and find out information about me. So break confidentiality and privacy laws. Then you think that I'm going to let some hairdresser who doesn't know anything about me get involved. And I'm sitting back going, couldn't get a solicitor, but I do have acting training, so let's fuck these people over. That's all it was. And the best part about this was, yeah, Giovanni knew. Because I told him I was going to do this in 2016, and then suddenly, I forgot we had the conversation. But how can you forget? I'm there warning you, saying, you tell these pricks to fuck off, or I'm going to make a fool out of everybody. Which means I'm going to fuck everybody over. Do you think I care about people? I don't give a shit about people. I care about my money and assets. I don't care. People come and go. Like, you look around the world, people are fucking dropping birth like giant sprinklers every fucking day. They're a dime a dozen. People don't mean anything. I'm not some communist, not some socialist. I'm a realist, I'm a capitalist. I don't give a shit about people, but I give a fucking damn shit about money. You want to involve yourself in my life and fuck things over for me when it comes to financial, then we've got a problem. Because I don't care about being alone. I'm never had an issue about being alone. You know? But these fuckwits that think they can involve themselves, about 10 more minutes, where it cost me money, then yeah. So yeah, that was all fake. The whole lot was fake. Done deliberately. And as for my twin sister, well, she was told. I mean, like everyone was told, don't contact that Stephanie Rosales back. She's been stalking me through social media. We're not friends. And I'll give you a good timeline. I'm someone that really focuses on figures and dates and timelines and so forth. Always been that type of person. So really, can even go back and you can ask me, where were you around this time? Where were you in October? Oh, actually, that one's easy. No, October 1998. That's a simple one because October 1998, I was in Blacktown. It was the a few weeks before my cousin Bradley Mihowski's christening. There you go. And I only went back and left Blacktown around Melbourne Cup in November in 1998. I can tell you everything. I've never been any different. I love money so much, so I just follow, and I do. It's my only love. It's only my true love is money. Another reason why I don't drink or use drugs. I don't want to be clouded, which is why those dickers that I'm sure when they found out that I don't use drugs, and they shit themselves and realised I was acting, some guy slipped me a Mickey. They actually roofied me, and I know that for a fact. They were trying to make me look like I was mentally retarded. After I played a prank on people and pretended I was mentally retarded. Oh no, wait, two things. Pretended I was mentally retarded to get back at the organisations, and then pretended I was a drug user to get back at these idiot people. I thought it was hilarious. Seriously, I actually thought it was the most funniest thing I've ever done in my life for 2016 and 2018. I'm walking back, smiggling to myself going, this is hilarious, because these people think it's real. Like, literally. I thought it was just fucking brilliant. Like, especially when I'm there going, I just want to go home. 2017, I was like, I'll teach you to fuck with me, mate. So yeah, in 2015 when I left, I can easily go back to where this conversation started from. I pinned it, circle back around to it. 2015, because I want to finish it now so I can upload this. 2015, when I left Giovanni for that 6 months period, and I was staying anyway just to get away. I'm like, no, I'm the one walking on eggshells. You're not the victim, Giovanni. You played the victim, and you've been playing it since I met you. And I'm literally looking at him thinking, I wish to fucking God I never took you out of that share house in Kensington with the drug fucked loser, Paula. The Paula that moved to Nim, that little freaking loser, and her fucking weirdo dogs and shit. Like, she's just a weirdo. These people. And I look at him and think, oh, fucking hell, South Australia. You know what? I should have looked at him and thought, he's from South Australia. Seriously. There you go. That should have just... Yeah, he's from South Australia. He's not even Roman Catholic. And he's not really even Italian. Like, yeah, sure, his dad's some fucking deadbeat povo from some third world village in southern Italy. But his dad's lived most of his life in country town Adelaide. His mum's convict Scottish. So, I'm looking at this going, your fucking mum's a convict. Like, seriously, at least I know where my family come from, except for Dad's father. That's where I get my complexion from. My Stanley Fleming is the one that looks Arab. But everything else is like, man, I can pinpoint to where they travelled from England or where they were here. I was like, but your mother's a convict fucking Scottish. That's what I'm looking at going, deadbeat fucking idiot that was an unemployed waiter when I met him. And yeah. I'm looking at him in 2015 going, oh, I wish I left you where I found you. So when I did leave him, like officially. And all my cousins on my dad's side, they got so pissed off, like even Jeff Williams, where he's like, oh, but we love Gio. Oh, even Mum's secretary, Margie Clay. Margie Clay, who's Mum's junior secretary before we were born and knows me my whole life, she got pissed off. I'm like, guys, relax. I'm on a break. The more you interfere, I don't know if I'm going to go back to Gio. It's my choice. But if you keep interfering, and Gio was heartbroken. I'm like, okay, but I'm not looking for another relationship. I've got a green card to America. The last thing I'm going to look for is another relationship. Plus, when I left John Cabino, that was for me to be a bachelor. I didn't want a relationship. And I ended up falling into a relationship with Gio. So I'm definitely not going to be having a relationship with anyone new. It's going to be someone in the past. You know, so why not work things back out with Gio? But that's only on my terms. The more you interfere and keep going, oh, we love him and this and so forth, the more I'm going to stand my grounds and put my feet planted in the sand and go, no. Because I don't need a relationship. And that's it. Like, if I want sex, I can go and get sex. Seriously. Like, I need a relationship like a fucking hole in my head. But, and that's what it was. So, yeah, like I said, like, I don't have any issues with him except he lied and it destroyed my credibility, which Giovanni did do. Lie and it destroyed my credibility. And he was told several times, you know, I understand you're bitter, but you want to go back and tell the truth because that's my life that's damaging and now you've got my mum involved. And the last thing you want is to get my little scamming mother who starts telling people, well, I've got 4 more minutes before this has to be uploaded. What was it? I love what Carol's making up. She brainwashed a man to the same. Oh, he's lost his confidence since he's been with Gio. I'm like, no, I fucking haven't. Ask any guy I've screwed around with. They'll definitely say I haven't lost any confidence until you started showing up, you dirty fucking lowlife. Like, seriously, my mother started showing up using this whole manipulation lie in 2015 to be my life. It's like, get fucked, you fucking skanky lowlife. Seriously. Yeah, lost my confidence, mate. Even now I'm 40 kilos overweight, don't have my money, assets and belongings, I still lost my confidence. Oh, what, you think that I want to go out and socialise? I'll come back to Australia to get a solicitor. That's it. You cause damage for me in America with your fucking bullshit. Your mental health bullshit. Milk the fucking government with someone else, mate. Oh, the bullshit. Oh, wait, there was trauma. What fucking trauma? Do I look like a guy that's that weak of a character? Except for when I'm playing that little prank on the dickheads from 2016 to 2018. No, 2018 was brilliant, wasn't it? Walking up Cathedral Street, turning right on the Forbes Street. I fucked over those social workers like you wouldn't believe that were monitoring surveillance. Oh, let me be afraid of the people under the bridge. The homeless people. Yeah. So what? You put on a show for me. I put on a show back for you, you dumb fucking cunt. What, you thought that was real? Oh, the fucking losers in the building in Forbes Street. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I can tell you every situation that was planned. Me taking one of my good bottle of wines down to the fucker sitting in the garden downstairs and pretending to be trying. You know, I'm a very sensitive person and, you know, you're a fucking deadbeat fucking dumb cunt from the UK coming over here, scamming Australia's government money, probably sending it back to your little shit fucking tiny country. Remember, your country fits into the state of New South Wales about 4 times, you fucking lowlife. You fucking come to my country and throw your shit around like you fucking belong here. You don't fucking belong here, mate. Piss off back to the UK. This is Australia. This ain't your country, you deadbeat. But you want to come here and treat it like it's your country. I can't stand those fucking people like you wouldn't believe. Even though my family, I've got heritage, like my great-grandmother and so forth, they're from London. Don't give a shit. Don't give a fucking shit. Different times. These little scummy pieces of cunt think they can come to Australia, throw their weight around, work in the medical field, nursing industry, project their little friggin' UK British crap into this country. It's like 2 different countries, mate. 2 different countries. What works for you doesn't work for us as Australia. Take your shit and fuck off. No one cares about you fucking dumb cunts from the UK here. In actual fact, you're the most hated people in Australia. Muslims are loved more than you fucking cunts. Okay? We look at you cunts and go, here we go again. These pricks are over here throwing their weight around like they own the country. When will we kick them out? That's what we think of you. So you got these fuckwits even in 2018 and it's like, here we go. The more fucking pricks that come over working in the nursing industry, oh, they're little British fucking nursing cunts. Oh, here we are. The more scummy pricks from the UK throwing their weight around because it's Australia, yet, you know, England, fits in the state of New South Wales about 3.5 times. So you little pissy, puss-weak fucking country, and you want to throw your bullshit Commonwealth shit into this country, mate. I'm fucking out of here. I'm going to the States. Seriously. Anyways, so all this bullshit, and I've got 2 minutes to go. All this bullshit was to do with me getting back at organisations that lied about me. Well, it was that simple. It was really, don't overthink it. I mean, don't take a situation and blow it way out of proportion, which is what these winkers did. And Audi was pre-rehearsed. Yeah, Audi was brilliant. It was actually pre-rehearsed, done. So it's a script that I wrote. It's based on me being mugged. But it went up, especially when these organisations were, monitoring and so forth. So I was like, I'm not going to do it now. But it was basically, how would you like having your head smashed in the concrete, whatever. I don't care what happened to me when I was mugged. I was mugged. Who cares? I got a scar down my eye because of it. Makes me look better. Like this massive big scar down here from where I was mugged. I don't fucking care. Who cares? It makes me look tougher. I don't give a shit. I was mugged after work. I care more about the fact about the money I lost, not the fact I was mugged. Don't give a fucking shit. And that's the thing where these organisations, they jump onto it. And it's like, find someone else that's a sensitive character of a person, because that's not me. Oh, it's like when and this all started with Giovanni too, but the relationship with you and your mother, I'm like, and? My mother's like having an evil fucking stepsister. But my name was like my mother. So what? I didn't miss out on anything. Not having the relationship that you had with your mother didn't mean I missed out. Because I never missed out. I think in actual fact, I gained more in life than what I've seen some people have when they've had two parents that never divorced in their family. And I'm there going, but you had a very boring life, didn't you? You didn't move. You stayed in the same area. And actually, you stayed in the same area that your parents are actually from. And then you're born in the same area and you're raised in the same area, but you had a very boring lifestyle. So in actual fact, I didn't miss out. I actually had a better life than you did. Like I look at people that had the same parents, growing up in the same household, and their parents didn't divorce. I'm like, oh man, I had 3 bedrooms. Like I had a bedroom at my dad's, a bedroom at my mum's, and a bedroom at my grandparents'. I had so much life. Oh, I was off with this great-grand-uncle, I was great-grandmother, I was here, I was there, I was in the city, I was in the suburbs. I got to spend 6 years where I went to high school, where my mother moved to with a second husband. What did you do? You stayed in the same boring area that your parents are from. And your parents got married, and they had kids. Oh, your life sounds really boring compared to mine. And that's why you can't comprehend it. Your parents stayed together. Well done. I'm so happy my parents divorced. It meant that I had a better lifestyle. It meant that I got to have a bedroom at my dad's, a bedroom at my mum's, a bedroom at my grandparents. I got more than what anyone else that had parents that weren't divorced ever had in their life. I got to do more. I did more in my life before I was the age of 21 than I've heard people say to me they've done before the age of 50. Like when I was 21, I'm traveling to America. Like seriously. I was living in my own apartment when I was 17. I had a great fucking apartment because I'm like, I don't really want to live with mum and I want to go to this competition that's in the area where mum's is. Oh, I'm going to rent my own apartment. I had everything. I had so much more than anybody else, and I put it down to the fact that my parents didn't stay together and they had other relationships and got married, but they were always in my life. So I still had my dad, Mark Fleming, in my life. I had more in my life than if they had stayed together. It was brilliant. I look at fucking people like my ex and like, so your parents stayed together and you had a very boring life and did nothing. You know what I did before I was even the age of 20? Yeah. Anyway, so this shit, anyway, I'll go back to it. This shit comes from ridiculous organisations, groups, people. I've just gone over an hour. So, it all comes from the false information that's gone on since 2009, passed through organisations that didn't want to correct it when I told them to correct it. Apparently I'm an invalid that can't shower or do my hair. I can't shave. This was all actually twisted. It went, like for an example, damage to my left eye got twisted down to the fact, so like when I'm trying to shave and I can't see out of my left eye, that got twisted to something else. You know, or he grows a beard now. I was like, what do you mean I grow a beard now? The beard that you're looking at right now is the beard that I had when I did my interview at Star Casino back in the year 2000. And who was it? Who did the interview? I remember she was an Egyptian lady, because I was interviewing for the host position, and she said that they're not going to do external, it's going to be internal for the host position. So come in through gaming and then transfer from gaming to the host. That's why my reference from them actually says started, because I did start in March 2001 as a host, but I actually started into the gaming and then moved to the host department. It was the only way I could get into the host department from external, because I came in external, then I had to go through internal. That's how it worked. I was already guaranteed the job. But I had a beard then, exactly like I'm wearing now. And she said, you're going to have to shave the beard, you know, for the host job. I'm like, oh. And I remember, because I'm living in I was working in Parramatta at the time, going, because everyone's got a beard in Parramatta type thing. And I'm looking at her going, and she's Egyptian, and she's worried about me having a beard. Like, that's literally, that's what I was thinking in the interview. I'm like, oh, I'll shave it. But for me, it was odd, because I was working at the Gazebo Hotel in Church Street, Parramatta, and I was working at the nightclub around the corner at the Albion Hotel as a second job. That was my cash in hand job, and everyone had a beard. I never knew one person that didn't have a beard, you know, in the area. So anyway, yeah. So I was like, well, what? It's the most ridiculous, dumb cunt bullshit that I've heard in my entire life. And it started, I can't believe Murphy's Law, it started straight after I accepted the green card in 2014. And I'm sitting back for 9 years going, no, I don't really give a shit anymore, because it's been 9 years. I was only expecting to go on for 1 year. And I'm sitting back going, but you're going to pay me everything it's cost me. So I'm just sitting back laughing, going, well, I don't care about people, friends or family, but I do really care a lot about money and assets. And you're going to pay me what it's cost me. Whether you like it or not, you're a dumb fucking cunt idiots that actually involved yourself in my life. That's the truth. You were told by me the truth. I love it. When these wankers of people were like, no. You don't remember, but it's this. I'm like, no. I know me. You're a fuckwit that's lying. It's the same when, and all this started, actually I'm going to end it there to say, when all this started, the people that came out of the woodwork that actually started involving themselves have mental head fucking ridiculous bullshit people wrong with it. Like Stephanie Vasalis, who was never a friend of mine. I did meet her at a coffee shop. She stalked me. So that's true. So Stephanie Vasalis, fucked in the head, because I still say to her, like, when I came back to Australia, I'm like, you're delusional. You tell people we're friends. That's your delusional fantasy. You don't know me. You stalked people you saw photos of me with on social media. You're fucking delusional, you dumb fucking cunt. And she is. Belinda Jeffries, only my hairdresser. You've got drug and alcohol problems. I'm just looking back after she involved herself in my life and went, you're fucked. Literally, you are fucked, man. Because you have opened your mouth up to me about everything you get up to with your little friend Ush and these other people. And I'm like, you are fucked. If you think I'm a pushover person that's going to allow your bullshit into my life, like, you're fucked. So I'm just saying back, you people are fucked. And they're all fucking idiots over these issues. And I'm turning around going, I don't care. You're the ones making a mistake, and it's a costly mistake. So yeah, that's it. At least I can put this up and put it, into forums and so forth where, it's viewed, and I'll share it so that way it's always said basically that, well, it is out there in public. So there is nothing that I haven't actually made public to say, right, so you're going to bring up this issue where I was being a smart ass and saying, I shake with the left hand because it's close to the heart. Me playing a prank on some idiots because they were deliberately surveillancing me. All the dumb fucking useless government workers. Yeah, but I already told you that it was fake. I already told you. And if you turn around and say, oh, we didn't know, I was like, okay, but I've put it on a public forum. So it's in the public. So it's public that that wasn't real. I was just being a smart ass to you because you lied about me in 2015, then you harassed my life since. So it's there. That's brilliant. And I'm doing it just to be a cunt. And I can. Because I really don't care about people, friends or family. But I do care a lot about money and assets in my life and my living home environment.